So let me run you through a couple of the options on Fenders at the moment. One of the more interesting ones in the market today is called the Mudhugger. Mudhugger is a company from the UK, a land that is very familiar with water and mud on trails. So I think they did a pretty good job on their fenders here. So the front fender is super popular. Seems to be just the right length, and it's molded. So you don't have to shape it. All you have to do is zip tie it in 4 spots, and it's very secure. The position, the bending of it doesn't change at all. The rear one is quite a bit dramatic because unlike other fenders that either mount to the frame or to the seat post, it mounts onto your seat stays. And the reason they did that is because this whole seat stay is a moving piece. When you have a fender that's here, the seat stay moves, the wheel moves, it's going to hit the fender. So what they do with this design is the fender will move, always move with the wheel. And how they accomplish that is you find the ideal position where you get mud clearance and frame clearance, and then you zip tie it. It's a little bit of an involved process with 6 zip ties on each side, but it works quite well. Another really popular fender option these days are these Marsh Guard type of fenders. You've seen them. You're like wondering, especially on the showroom floor, what are those? So they're actually fenders, and you shape them with zip ties. They're not big, and their main purpose is to really keep mud and water out of your eyes. It doesn't really protect your body or the bike as much, but you know, they do serve the purpose, and they look good. They don't really look like they don't call attention to themselves. They're just neat little things. Something cool with them is because they come flat. Folks, companies, or designers, this one by Made Rad, are able to put some cool designs on them. So this one is leaf design. So you shape them by zip tying them like this. And some companies like Made Rad, instead of zip ties, they give you these reusable Velcros. So you can put them on, take them off. I've also seen them on the rear. Since they're so flexible, you can just stick them on the rear. What it does is it gives you that look, that moto look, and it protects your suspension and your linkages from mud. So another popular option, probably one of the first names in fenders, is SKS. So SKS, they make most of their money in fenders, commuter fenders in Germany and Europe. So they know what they're talking about. But they do make some mountain bike stuff as well. And here's their offering. This one's called the Shuffleboard XL and the Extra Dry XL. XL because they're a little longer, a little wider than what they normally work with. And I'll show you kind of what it does. So there you go. So it gives you a little more coverage, even gives you front coverage. So water shooting out the front, hitting you at speed, going to your face, is addressed by this SKS. Now the rear one, it's interesting, and you'll see this a lot more commonly with most fenders, is they attach to the frame or the seat post. So they have an adjustable strap that's very stiff, and it has non-slip surface on it. You put it on here, and then bam, you put a lot of tension and crank it, and it's adjustable as well. Now the interesting thing with these fenders is you have to provide enough clearance between the fender and the tire, because this tire is going to move 5 inches of travel, and the fender is not. So you got to get it out of the way. So what I've had to do is put it here, right on the slider of the dropper post. So it's not really ideal for dropper posts or for super high travel bikes, but it's able to ride with them. The key with them is to cinch them tight enough so it doesn't twist or move. But you'll notice one big disadvantage of Fenders, as you raise them higher, is we normally mount the bike this way. You end up kicking it a lot. So you almost have to mount this way, which is awkward. So that's SKS. Very popular brand is Blackburn. Blackburn, they know what they're doing. So they have something here that is a down tube fender. So you mount it on the down tube, and so it's a little more stable, a little more rigid than what you find there. And the downside is it doesn't steer with your wheel, so it just protects you where you are, but not with the moving, turning motions of the wheel. The rear one is another seat post style fender. So this one, and then you can adjust the height of it, ratchet it up like this. And finally, I'll show you, if you really want to stay dry, you got a plus bike, you got a fat bike, or you just got a normal bike but you just really hate mud in your eye or in your shorts, another SKS. This one is called the Phat Board, and it's awesome. I like to run with these because if I'm going to use Fenders, I might as well have some that works. The only thing is make sure I have the clearance and it doesn't hit my feet and whatnot. But it goes like that, and this one is similar to the other SKS. Goes like that, but that's a lot of clearance, or a lot of protection from mud and water. Thanks for tuning in.